Maybe you know about red rice, and maybe you don't. Well, I didn't know about red rice. I saw it in the health food store and I go, very nice. It's a whole grain. It's healthy. It has a nice color. So let's make it with some vegetables. This way I don't have to make a vegetable stock. I have so many vegetables in there, all the flavor will be just fine. So we have green. Now you can look at this and say, well, I like that, I don't like that. Well, you know what? Replace it. Or don't put any vegetables. Or put shrimps, put chicken. You treat this rice as you would treat any other rice. But I'm putting all these vegetables in there. Shallots, garlic, celery, carrots, green pepper, sunflower seeds, salty black olives. Use whatever olives you like, or don't use any olives. Throw in some broccoli. I'm putting some dried thyme. You can use dry, you can use fresh. A little bay leaf, a little dried, whatever these peppers are called. Slipped my mind for a second, but it's on the recipe. And we'll get started. It's very simple. I'm going to sweat up the vegetables, add the rice, bring it to a boil, drop the flame down to a simmer. Use a thick bottom pot so it doesn't scorch, stick, burn on you. And 20 minutes later, I'll add the sunflower seeds and the olives, and we're done. So we're going to sweat up the vegetables. They could be clear. If you want to have a little color in them, it's up to you. If you saute them with a little color, it'll change the flavor just slightly, and it really doesn't matter. It's your preference. Well, I'm using olive oil. I don't know, that's about 3 tablespoons. What I like is this sriracha hot chili sauce container. This is the best thing that I've ever had to avoid the oil from dripping. And with a moderate flame, we're going to add the vegetables. And I cut the garlic, I sliced it. You can dice it up, you can throw it in whole. I like to have little chunks of garlic that I can chew on. Or you can throw the garlic in towards the very end, which is more beneficial. The less you cook the garlic, the more beneficial it is. So I do it that way sometimes, I do it this way. And then we have a nice high flame just to get this going. And I'm putting the thyme and the pepper in there and the salt. And that's it. How simple. The most difficult part of this really is dicing up the vegetables. If you don't know how to dice up vegetables, you know, like that, and you have a Cuisinart, guess what? Throw big chunks in the Cuisinart, pulse it up, and you'll have your vegetables. They could be finer than this, doesn't really matter. It all depends on if you're eating this or you're doing this for like a little dinner party in the house. You would really want the vegetables to be diced similar to this. Because the Cuisinart really, unless you pulse it and be very careful, you get very small pieces and not uniform in size. And the stock or water is measured, ready to go in there. So really this is a no-brainer, and it's going to look pretty. So that's the red rice. I can't wait to see what it looks like after it's done. So I'll shut the film off right now and let this sweat up for another couple of minutes, and then we'll add everything. When you sweat up the vegetables like this, with the herbs, whatever you're using, you get more flavor out of everything. And this rice comes from way up in the mountains in Himalaya. Now it's time to add it. We'll coat those kernels a little. Those little grains, whole grain. Much better for you than like whatever brand you use of white rice, which is not whole grain. So as far as nutritional value, this is better. It's probably tastier also. We'll add the liquid. I'm not using stock because I'm going, this is good if a vegan is going to eat it. But you can use stock, beef stock, chicken stock, whatever stock you like. Now we're going to drop this flame down to the lowest possible setting. Cover this. I'm not even going to look at it, so I'm going to, boy, that smells good. I'm going to set the timer. The old standby timer, the one on the microwave. I can't even hear it. I'll be back in 20 minutes and we'll take a look at it. So it's been 20 minutes, unless my clock is wrong. And guess what? It's not done yet. And why is that? There are a couple of reasons. Maybe I didn't bring it to a boil. Maybe my flame was just a little bit too low because I had raised it a couple of minutes ago. So, what do? You just keep on cooking it. We'll give it another 10 minutes. Now we're running at a half hour. And the other reason why there's a lot of liquid in there is because the recipe on the box says 1 to 3. But when you're using vegetables like this, you know vegetables have a lot of water content. And I purposely didn't put less water in than the recipe said, just to see what would happen. But you know what? There's no problem. All you do at this point is raise the flame with the lid off and let the stock or water evaporate. Because the rice itself is cooked. And it won't get overcooked. This will just take a few minutes. All the liquid will be gone. And we'll have a nice dish of red rice, which still has the same color, and vegetables. Nice healthy meal. This is my dinner. All of this. I'm not having any protein, just having this. So this will take a few minutes to reduce and then we'll look at it again. Well, it's taken me about maybe 10 minutes and I reduced it down and this is what we have. And the color of that rice is nice. I'll add the olives. And the amount of salt, it needs a little more salt, but guess what? The olives are salty that I'm using, so I'm not going to add any more salt. You could put a load of chopped parsley in here if you want. for color. Scallions. If I had the scallions in the house, I would use them. And to get a better look at it, I'll just put some on a plate. And it might look sticky, and that stickiness is from, don't forget, all the vegetables that are in there that are cooked. And there you go. That's your red rice with vegetables, a little crunchiness in there with the sunflower seeds, a little saltiness with the olives. I hope you enjoy it. That's enough for 2 people for a side dish.